Good afternoon, good morning and good evening from wherever you're watching from live from YouTube. My name is Jamie Robinson and you may have heard these dulcet Yorkshire tones from your podcasting platforms from the Wakefield Trinity Heritage Podcast. I am sat here in my flat actually as we record this introduction video for our YouTube channel alongside my dad, Lee Robinson, the Wakefield Trinity historian and the man behind Wakefield Trinity Heritage. We've been presenting this podcast now for our 5th year, I think, Dad. And this is the first time we're actually coming to YouTube. So we thought we'd do an introduction video, a bit of background on us, who we are, what we provide, what we've got for you coming in the 2026 season. And yeah, it's just our first video on YouTube, really. So you've got to please respect our production values. We've not got any big flashy cameras or any big production team. It is just us two. It's always been us two. And we've always just enjoyed presenting from the comfort of our own homes. So this is who we are, what we do. I'll pass over to Dad for his story. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and then we can go from there. So Dad, tell me about you.
Yeah, we're still probably pinching ourselves a little bit that we're in year 5, year 6 of this podcast. Just a father and son duo that was doing something that was a bit of a hobby. We're starting this season with our 250th podcast, which is one hell of a feat, really. When you look at all the podcasts that's been knocking around, we're already and going, you know. And the fact that we're going to be on YouTube, I've lost a bit of weight and I've cut my hair, so you can actually see what we look like. I think when I've been looking a little bit unhealthy on YouTube, I've got a new replica shirt this year. Never buy replica shirts these days. Yeah, but my background, I've been watching Wakefield Trinity for over 50 years. I've been a supporter, I've been a backroom boy, I've been a memorabilia collector. I'm now, obviously we run the podcast, an avid supporter, never missed many games, look after the Past Players Association, Trinity historian, and all things Wakefield Trinity Heritage, really. So that's my background. I was a backroom boy as well for 10 years. We often hear stories of my physio days, and we have a lot of guests on who I've old friends as well as old Trinity players. So yeah, we're raring to go this year, and obviously a bit of YouTube is something different, keeping up to scratch with the modern day, so fingers crossed it'll be successful.
Yeah, so I briefly mentioned it at the start. I am Lee's son, so I am Jamie. We've got a big family history of links to Wakefield Trinity and Rugby League, but Wakefield Trinity specifically, even though I do wear the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats emblem, we are Trinity men and Trinity boys. So yeah, you introduced me when I was born. Actually, I was born 8 days after the Yorkshire Cup win in 1992. Dad was working as physiotherapist on that day, and there was a big joke between not being able to make the final because my birth was due, along with Gary Spencer's daughter and Gary Price's son. Obviously, we ended up all being born in a 2-week block. So yeah, it's funny how things end up. I ended up obviously kind of following Dad's footsteps to be a Wakefield Trinity fan. I started going to games in 2003, I think, at about 10, 11 years old. And I've been, a diehard ever since, for better or worse. I am also, I followed in Dad's footsteps as a physiotherapist, so I graduated almost 10 years ago now, which is crazy. I did a little stint in the Wakefield Trinity Academy and scholarship system before going into the NHS setting. But we started this podcast in 2022, I believe, just off the background of me doing a little bit of work in the media, in rugby league media in Australia, and then over in England as well. I had a separate rugby league podcast with 2 friends of mine, and when that ended, I thought bringing Wakefield Trinity Heritage, which was flourishing on social media, you got thousands of followers, you got employed by the club on a historian basis, did Dad, and my kind of technological prowess to a point, a bit of presenting, a bit of media experience, a father and son duo, quite personable, listenable, and then our love and passion for Wakefield Trinity. We just put it together with our first episode with Gareth Ellis back in 2022, 4 years ago now. And like Dad says, we're progressing to our 250th episode next week, funnily enough. We yet to reveal who that is. We will reveal it will be an interview with the current player. We'll let you know who that is in due course. But since then, we've been on BBC Radio Leeds. We've been down at the club. We've got very tight links at the club with Matt, all the way from Matt Ellis to Adam Hughes and Owen Ward in the media staff, to Darryl Powell, to Steve Mills and in the backroom staff. We've had Mike McMeekin on the podcast, Tom Johnston a couple of times, Max Jowett, and a lot of different past players and staff as well. We pride ourselves, like you say, we are the Wakefield Trinity Heritage Podcast. We never want to neglect our past because our past negates our present and our future. But in more recent memory, we've been doing what we call Trinity Back Chat, which is a kind of a review and a revision of the recent games. This year we're going to be doing a Bellevue breakdown before every home Super League game. We're going to be getting our good friend Mike Butcher on the podcast and our resident Super League expert to talk about our home games. And we do a monthly fans forum as well with regular guest Erin Moore, friend of the podcast, and some regular fans on it. We'd like to talk about kind of the monthly goings on down at the club as well. You really enjoy the interviews. We probably fleeced it a little bit too much actually when we first started the podcast. We were doing an interview every week, but we're doing an interview a month now, aren't we? And you're still doing some research for that, whether it's a current player or a heritage player.
Yeah, the interviews it's the great really, but like you say, it's a lot of work to do, even though it's my hobby and I don't mind doing the research. We have had a lot of good ones over the years. Some have said yes, some have said no. So we have got some good ones lined up for 2026. But just to reiterate what Peter said, Jamie said, we've got to thank the club. They give us access to the players and staff. We have full support of the club, and Matt Ellis is a regular attendee on our podcast, as in Steve Mills, the director of rugby. I also want to just sort of put a thank you out to our sponsors. They change every year. This year we've got a sponsor which is the Wakefield Trinity Past Players Association, which is close to my heart because I helped set it up a few years ago, and plus the St John's Health Centre and the St John's Coffee Shop, which is run by Graham and Martin Law, two past players and very close friends of ours who've actually been on the podcast as well, and part of our 249 podcasts we've had so far.
Brilliant. Yeah, we've actually got a couple of sponsors being lined up as well that are yet to be over the line, but those three are going to be our main sponsors this year. But yeah, you can listen to us on any podcasting platform. The catalogue from episode 1 to episode 249 is anywhere you want to listen. Spotify, Apple Podcast, any podcasting platform where you get your podcasts as well. But this year, fans have been clamouring for us to go onto YouTube. So this is our first foray onto YouTube. So bear with us, be patient. It will pretty much be a direct copy and paste from the visual aspect of our podcast straight onto YouTube. We don't have the master production values to be doing anything too special, but people like watching podcasts these days. We do. We speak about podcasts a lot. We like to watch on YouTube. So we thought we'd put our mugs on there as well, even though, you know, it might not be the most attractive of faces, but I think people like watching things a lot more as opposed to listening. It's a bit more personable. You can see what's going on. So we do record on Zoom, so you will see kind of the cut up screens of our different faces and stuff, but yeah, it should be good, it should be entertaining. The YouTube videos will be up a day or two after the podcasting uploads as well, just to give the podcast a bit of a go. People still want to listen to that, but they will be on YouTube within a day or two. And if they aren't, it's usually depending on, you know, if one of us is maybe away or on holiday or we've got some family stuff going on, we'll always be updating that as well. Just regarding our socials, so Dad, you're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Trinity Heritage, yes. Is that right? And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at WT Heritage Pod as well. So, and now obviously our YouTube channel is Wakefield Trinity Heritage Podcast, so you follow us on there. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share it wherever you can, because they can help the videos tenfold, even if you just subscribe. Our target for this year is 250 subscriptions. We're not too bothered about views and people watching it and getting to grips with it, but if you can subscribe to our videos, that's brilliant. We've already got 94 subscriptions without even uploading the video yet, so it's brilliant for a little independent podcast such as ourselves. And it's an exciting season to be a Wakefield Trinity fan. We won't go into it too much because we'll be obviously beginning the podcast as of next week, but Dad, Wakefield Trinity in 2026, we're a different entity, aren't we? And just kind of summarise what your thoughts are on the up-and-coming season with the signings of Tyson Smoothie, Jazz Tavanga, and another season more for the rest of our squad.
It's exciting stuff, isn't it? Every year's getting that little bit more exciting. You know, I think you're still trying to get your head around little old Wakefield, as we've been termed. We were in the second championship 2 years ago, fifth, top six last season. Where do we go next? Some of the signings, you know, if somebody had actually said you'd have been buying an NRL grand final winning hooker to go into our side and throw in a Samoan international to go alongside him. Exciting stuff. We've still got 2 England internationals in our squad as well. I'm going to Hull KR this week. Whenever this comes out, Hull KR friendly might have been and gone. We've possibly got Swinton in the Cup, followed by Toulouse. So that's the sort of start we're looking at. All very excited about that. But while we talk about Trinity, don't forget Trinity TV. You know, as I say, we're sort of very friendly and work closely with Trinity. Trinity TV is just another sort of side of the Trinity family at the moment, and where we're actually going with this club. It's scary times.
Brilliant. So we'll wrap up there. That's kind of our introduction video. If you've got any other questions, post them in the comments below. Follow us on socials. If you do see us in person at the ground, be friendly, be kind. You remember, we might not know your faces, but you know ours and you know our voices. So but even if you've got something critical or something you want us to improve on, just remember we don't know who you are. So we do apologise in advance if we look a bit confused and shaken. But again, thank you so much for listening. The podcast over the past 4 years has gone way higher than we ever thought it possibly could. We trend every week in the top 10 independent podcasts in rugby league in the entire country, up there with some of the biggest and best ones. So the fact that people listen to us from a Wakefield Trinity perspective and a rugby league perspective is really cool. So we love it, we enjoy it every week, and we'll be back in a week's time next week, and from there onwards until October we'll be doing 2 podcasts a week. We've got it all set up. We're very regimented and very scheduled, aren't we, in our approach to the podcasting game, and that's why I think we've got such a valuable fan base as well. So yeah, this is the call out that we will still be on podcasting platforms, and we'll still be coming to you with our interviews, Trinity Backchat, the Bellevue Breakdown, Fans Forum, and Heritage Hour as well. We're actually going to be doing a new podcast this year called Heritage Hour, which is going to be highlighting the season by season past of Wakefield Trinity, going all the way from 1895 to the present day, along with occasional podcasting specials like the Vacant Island videos and Trinity Trailblazers when we've got time. So keep giving us your support. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, share whenever you can, listen to anything whenever you can, and thank you all for watching. This is our first YouTube video, so we apologise if it's not the best, but we've tried our best to do it all. So we will catch you on the air and on YouTube in a week's time, and thank you all for your support, and we'll catch you all down the road.